Am I the meanest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Pawn's drunk.
Well, who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
Who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
I can't hear you.
Pawn's drunk. AKA Mr. Moo. Woo, shot himself.
Of Harlem.
You know, this is Punch on Boxing, aka Mr. Moo, shot himself, aka El Adobo, El Sazón, El Borracho, El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse. Once again, this effing up. What's good? Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button on your way in. Boxing week, y'all. Boxing week. David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. One of the most anticipating fight in boxing. One of the most anticipating fight, or probably the most anticipating fight in the super middleweight division. Of course, you got Canelo Alvarez. The undisputed going to be facing John Ryder. Cinco de Mayo. What's good, David in the building? What's good, Kevin Effect in the building. What's good, Bang? What's good, Kevin Effect? One of the members of Punch Drunk Boxing. Y'all already know if y'all want to become a member of Punch Drunk Boxing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, go ahead, smash the link. Did I put the link up anyway? Mito in the building. What's good, man? David in the building con la bandera puertorriqueña. What's good? Yeah, man. Shout out to the people that was joining me earlier today. Yeah, man. Had a good live show. Got a good live show. Rick Glazier, Boxing Insider, Hall of Fame in New York City, Boxing Hall of Fame, about to join us in a couple, man. Yeah, man. Me and Rick Glazier, we agree and disagree on several things when it comes to the sport of boxing. Dímelo, borracho. Aquí estoy, mi hermano. Aquí estoy. Let's go, Rub. Let's go, Larry. Let's go, Good. What's good? What's popping out there in the sport of boxing? What's popping? Shout out to all the boxing content creators, whether we agree or disagree. Keep on doing your thing. Keep on hustling and grinding and supporting your subscribers and members and stuff like that. Oh, man. Boxing is great. Boxing is good. Ladies and gentlemen, you see the title. And it's something I was thinking about right after the live show. And I've seen, let me see the guest is here. The guest. I don't see a Rick. I don't see a Ricky Rick. There you go. You hear me? Let me see.
Like you're standing next to me. Now I'm worried.
Hold on. Rick Glazier in the building. What's good, Rick?
Not much. Just watching the basketball, like most people are in America tonight, except you, and having a good time watching it. You know, good games, fun. You know, nothing else to do, and a little slow business wise on a Sunday, but you know, I'm here.
You got the you watching the college? Do you got the volume on the basketball game on?
Yeah, turn it off right now.
All right.
Yeah,
man. Okay.
Let me just get it off here. Yep. So there you go. It's off.
Rick Glazier in the building. Punch Drunk. Rick Glazier back at it again. You know, people been asking, man, when you and Rick Glazier gonna be chopping it up? They've been waiting for this, Rick.
Well, I've been waiting for it too for like a week when you last contacted me, and I said, "What the fuck happened to this guy?" You know, you called me, and then all of a sudden you went dead on me. What the hell is going on? You know,
I live a spontaneous. It's been a spontaneous week. St. Patrick's Day, you know, was a wonderful day for my liver. How was your St. Patrick's Day, by the way?
I didn't do too much on Friday. I didn't celebrate St. Patrick's Day in any way, shape, or form. I didn't eat any corned beef. I don't drink, and I didn't even really do. I went to lunch with some friends of mine, and that was about it. You know, just a normal Friday lunch.
Come on, Rick, be honest. You was wearing your kilt.
My what?
A kilt. He was wearing the.
No.
Come on, Rick. Come on.
No.
I know he was wearing a kilt.
Not me.
You were looking like Josh Taylor out there.
Not me, buddy. Not me. I didn't look like Josh Taylor. That's for sure.
Rick, man, I think the boxing schedule is is sustainable right now. You know, that's one of the, it's two things I've been, you know, negative about the sport of boxing. That's inactivity by the fighters, and that's also the sustain. Like when we got a great event, there's not another great event to back that one up, you know, in a consistent basis. Yeah, we got to wait from several months, but even if we got David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, right after that we got Shakur Stevenson in Newark. Right after that, we got Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Right after that, we got Canelo Alvarez back. Right after that, we got Haney and Lomachenko. Right after that, we got Tio and Josh Taylor. And not to mention, I forgot, you know, Stephen Fulton.
Unude and Stephen Fulton. You forgot Ortiz and Stanionis. That's going to be a great fight too.
Oh no, Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis right after the Gervonta Davis. And Ryan Garcia. So how you feel about this schedule, man? All around, how you feel about it?
Well, it's the best schedule we've had over a 3-month period in years, literally in years. I mean, there's no question about it, but everybody's getting forced to make fights now because they realize that without real competitive fights on pay-per-view, they're not selling. I mean, the numbers say so. So what they're doing is they're putting these big fights on, and you know, as big as they can get on the pay-per-view now, instead of, you know, Tank Davis versus 20-1 favorites and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. They're putting them in Ryan Garcia. They're putting Plant and Benavidez together, and everybody's making good fights right now. To stay competitive, they have to make good fights right now. You know, if you take the fights over the weekend, yesterday they had a good main event over in Dubai with Lucas Brown and Big Baby Miller. It turned out to be a good fight, action packed. You know, give and take, two big robots, but you know, it was a good fight. It was fun. Mm-hmm. And then last night, Golden Boy had a good show. I mean, they're coming now because everybody has to be competitive. And the reason they have to be competitive is because they're looking for entertainment, people's entertainment dollars, and they're not buying Tank Davis versus these outbet type of fights, and they're not buying a Plant versus XYZ, and they're not buying David Benavidez XYZ, and they've got to fight each other now, and that's the only way that a company like Showtime can sustain. A company like PBC has even a prayer to sustain, is putting these guys in with each other, and they don't have any choice. It's just the way it is now. It's the marketplace presently, and that's why they're all doing it now. The reason why Joshua's not doing it, Hearn's not doing Joshua, because Joshua's going to draw no matter who he fights. Yeah. Now he might draw 15,000. He might not do 90,000 people. He might do 65,000. He might do 60, but he's still going to draw a lot of people, and he's still going to be a big attraction on the zone worldwide. So even though he's fighting somebody that's capable, Jermaine Franklin is no walk in the park, but he's one guy that doesn't have to really fight anybody.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, and I'm happy about this schedule. And this is just the first half of boxing. Imagine the second half. I hope it continues. But I do like that every weekend. Look, man. If your ladies is getting mad at you that you go out every weekend, boxing is gonna keep your man at home. That's right, Rick. We could say that boxing is gonna keep your man at home every weekend to the summer.
Yeah. There's no question about that. It looks like it, but traditionally, we don't have a lot of big fights in July and August. It starts up again, Cinco de Mayo weekend in September, and goes on from there through the first week in December normally, and then it picks up in late January again is the normal stuff. So we're in season now for big fights for April, May, for April, May, and June. There's no question about that.
Now, of course,
and here's the end of March.
Of course, this week is David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. You know, you've been critical about Showtime, but they came out with a good schedule as well. But David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, I put a poll up. A lot of people picking David Benavidez to beat Caleb Plant. But earlier today, I did a poll which says, do you analyze? Do people are analyzing this fight because technically wise they believe David Benavidez is going to be Caleb Plant, or because they looking past Caleb Plant and just wishing on a star that we see David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez? What do you think about this fight?
Well, Plant can outbox Benavidez, but Benavidez throws more punches and is bigger, stronger, and more powerful. And I think he's a little bit fresher fighter. He hasn't been in the wars that Plant's been in, like a couple wars now. And especially with Canelo. And I give the edge to Benavidez for overall talent, even though Plant's a good boxer. But if you look at Plant's record, he hasn't really beaten anybody. It's more or less who he lost to in Canelo than who he beat. You know, Anthony, whatever his name is, Durrell. Yeah, I'm trying to forget his name. So, yeah.
Damn, it's gotta be harsh.
So, in the meantime,
isn't that the best opponent that David Benavidez beat? You think?
No. He beat that Ronald Ellis, who's much better than Durrell. Even though that Durrell, remember, Durrell is shot 37, 38 years old, maybe even maybe 39, something like that. So I don't consider that such a great win. It was a great knockout, but it wasn't a great win. It was a spectacular knockout, but it was not a great win.
I think.
Does that make sense?
No, I understand. I think people can see it both. I understand you saying there's not a great win, but a great knockout. I think though, if people analyzing Caleb Plant actually different because of the last fight that he had, I think that if it was Caleb Plant coming off the Canelo fight into this fight, I don't even think that people will even give him any chance. But because he did good versus Anthony Durrell, and a lot of people feel like Anthony Durrell is one of the best. Even Canelo Alvarez said it, that Anthony Durrell is the best opponent that David Benavidez beat. So now people looking at it, they gauging Caleb Plant way different than they did before that. Like nobody was talking about Caleb Plant and his power, but because he laid him out, he laid Anthony Durrell out. Now people are more intrigued and analyzing this fight a little bit differently. Do you think it is different now than it would have been before the Anthony Durrell fight?
Let's put it this way, kid. It wouldn't have changed my opinion, but it would change the public's opinion. So I would say, from a marketing standpoint, yes, it helped, but it wouldn't have changed my personal opinion.
Okay, so that's fair. You know, that's how people. I think they give him more Caleb Plant a chance because the way that he looked versus Anthony Durrell. Like I never heard nobody even emphasize Caleb Plant's power, but because of that, now people are bringing in the power into his repertoire. Like, yeah, people always analyzing, saying that he got great movement, know how to put punches together, got a great jab, could work in the outside. But now people are saying, but he has power now. So now it is intriguing, and it does help build the build up to this fight.
Listen, it's if somebody goes out and has their first 25 fights and is very mundane as far as being a puncher, all of a sudden he backs out a 38, 39-year-old guy that was yesterday's news 5 years ago. I don't consider that guy a puncher because of that. That's more circumstantial than being a puncher.
I also asked this. Does this, if Caleb Plant upsets David Benavidez, does that help boxing, or does it hurt Canelo Alvarez having another mega fight with another star? Because I think that Canelo Alvarez is running out of mega fights in terms of that marquee, another marquee name. Does that help Canelo, or does that hurt Canelo if David Benavidez loses?
It hurts Canelo because he, like you said, he's -1 attractive pay-per-view opponent. So yes, it would hurt. It would also hurt boxing because David Benavidez means a lot more at 24 years old than Plant does, because Plant's like yesterday's news. Not that he's yesterday's news, but he's already lost to Canelo. He was already a champ. With this guy here, he's lost his title because of drug use and because of weight, and he never lost his title in the ring. So I would say that would hurt boxing because I think Benavidez means a lot more than Plant does.
You know what? Yeah, and you know what? That's the title of actually the live. That's actually the title of the live. So that's what I think that it will hurt boxing and hurts Canelo Alvarez for David Benavidez. It's unfortunate, Caleb Plant, but I think it will hurt boxing and Canelo Alvarez future mega fight, even if he has any, because David Benavidez lose. I'm not sure if he got another mega fight unless it's Jake Paul. Not sure. So I don't know. I heard a sound. I don't know if you're still there, Rick. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Why wouldn't they be here?
Nah, because I heard a burn, like the fire truck was in your house. But yeah, I guess we in the same page on that one. I think it will hurt. It will hurt boxing. It will hurt Canelo Alvarez. So if David Benavidez do lose to Caleb Plant, which I got David Benavidez winning, beating Caleb Plant, but if he loses, what's next for Canelo Alvarez?
You know, who knows? I guess he's going to have to go down the list of some of his mandatories. Whoever the mandatories he's fighting, this mandatory coming up. It's one thing when you're a champ. You got some organizations, you got to defend your title every year, and some every 18 months because they mark as a super champion. So he'd probably just go fight a mandatory, whoever would want to be one of his mandatories if Benavidez was to lose, because you know they can't sell Plant. There's no way they can sell Plant, and I don't think they'd have the balls to try to sell Plant and Canelo again to the public.
Shout out to Rapstar Boxing Knowledge in the chat. Good,
hey, Rapstar. I'm going to be on Rapstar tomorrow night.
All right, everybody tune in tomorrow. Also, Rick Glazier going to be with Rapstar Boxing Knowledge. Subscribe to Rapstar Boxing Knowledge. He asked Rick Punch what he thinks about Conor Ben versus Manny Pacquiao coming out of retirement, 44 years old. What do you think about that?
Well,
brother?
I actually don't have a problem with Manny Pacquiao fighting. It's the fact that they're allowing Conor Ben to be in a big fight. And you know, he just got caught with the performance enhancing drugs, and you know, he's on suspension, and I understand he's on suspension in the UK, and you know, Eddie Hearn doesn't give a shit. He'll go take the fight to the Middle East, and that's a shame. Eddie Hearn doesn't have any respect for boxing or fighters themselves, because people's lives and livelihoods are on the line, and they're literally their life. And he doesn't give a shit. You know, okay, it's all right. You could be on steroids. I'm not going to punish you. I'm going to go put you in the Middle East now and give you a big win against Manny Pacquiao.
Hey, but look at this weekend. See, I haven't even forgiven Gerald Miller yet. He's been tested positive in boxing like 3-4 times, and in kickboxing.
Time out. He served his punishment. He was suspended for 42 months from boxing. Conor Ben never served his punishment. Okay, your apples. No, it's like going to prison. The guy did his time. He got out. Now you got a fresh start. You went to prison. Okay, you did your time. You were a man. You didn't rat on no one, and you came out. And now you start over again. But in the meantime, that's not what happened here. You're comparing apples and oranges. I don't agree with Big Baby Miller taking steroids. But the point is, he was suspended for 42 months, served his time, and now is doing rigid drug tests. I know for a fact sometimes they test him twice a week, for Christ's sake. And the point is, Conor Ben, he's suspended in England, and they're circumventing the law by circumventing everything by going over to the Middle East to do the fight. That's what they're going to do.
I think
that I have a problem with.
Do you think it's more like, okay, we you know how boxing is, Rick? You know, there's not is the morals in boxing is very slim, right? So is it
hold it. It's worse than you described. Okay, what morals?
Exactly.
What morals?
So better, right? No morals, right? I think certain fans want to keep the little moral that boxing feels like it got left. But peep this, Rick. Do you think it's more of a promoter, fighter's fault, or is it boxing's fault? Because think about it. If you get suspended
it's everybody. It's everybody's fault.
Because if you get suspended,
everybody's fault. It's Eddie being the enabler. It's the kid not stepping up to the plate and saying, "Hey, I did this, and I'm going to take a year. Okay, please don't suspend me. I'm going to take a year off from boxing and regroup." and then come back and test me and blah blah. But if you want to test me over the next year, you can do that. Something like that. Nobody did anything. I mean,
So,
if he was a PBC fighter, nobody noticed. They only fight once a year, once every 15, 18 months anyways. So if he's a PBC fighter, that wouldn't even affect him.
so and I know this is the hardest shit, because I feel like even if I ask this, right, or even if I bring this to the table, I don't think boxing is just so much of a free market. It's just like a wild, wild west that I don't see it happening. But how can we stop fighters being suspended in one state or one country or one commission from going to another? Let's say you suspended in California and you got your license suspended in California and go to New York and still get a fight.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. In the United States, you have.
So what happens?
You can't do that in the United States.
No, let me give you an example.
If you're okay, give me an example.
And clarify for me. I'm just going back. When Mike Tyson had a suspended license in Vegas and then he fought in Memphis, they gave him a license.
No, untrue. His license was not suspended in Nevada. They just wouldn't license him. He had no suspensions when he fought in Memphis. Okay, zero. But they refused to license him, like they refused to license him in New York. It's two different issues. If you're suspended, you're retroactively suspended in every state in the country. Okay, literally. Okay, it's the law. It's called the Muhammad Ali Act. Okay, it's a federal law. Okay, so there's no question about that. But he was not suspended. They just would not license him in New York or Nevada or New York, and I don't think they would license him in California either, if I remember correctly. But in the meantime, that's completely different. You're talking about if you're actually suspended. If you're suspended, then you cannot fight. So in the UK, it's the same thing. He can't fight in the UK because he's suspended. Don't matter what country over there, you can't suspend. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's Scotland, Wales. It don't matter if it's England itself. It doesn't matter where it is. Okay, the point is he's going all the way now to the Middle East somewhere to fight because he can't fight over there and he can't fight over here, because if he's suspended there, they won't let him fight here in America.
Which is still a problem, right? Which is still a problem, and it's still the sport of boxing. Right? But
you're right.
What do you feel about so how can since boxing is
it's the enabler. So in other words, if you are a licensed English promoter, a UK promoter, and you use a suspended fighter in another jurisdiction, they should suspend your license in the UK for using a suspended fighter. That's what they should do.
That's a good plan. So you think that Eddie Hearn should have a suspended license as a promoter?
Absolutely. In the UK, yes, absolutely. He's an enabler. No question about it in my mind. He's an absolute enabler. Yep.
But it's true. Something needs to be done. Because that's so easy. Suspended in the Middle East, or you can fight in England. Suspended in England, I can fight. That's something that needs to. That's another problem in the sport of boxing, that not everybody coexists, works together. Sometimes you can see Belt Federation work together, like the WB on the WBC. They try to work together, and then sometimes these Belt Federation don't give a damn. They're gonna mandate this person, mandate that person. I don't give a damn what this person.
Well, and part of the reason for that, of course, is politics. But here's the other reason why. Because sometimes they have a mandate that was already set at their convention that this guy must fight this guy when this fight's over with. And then all of a sudden, one of the other organizations wants to do something else, and the guy's a unified champion. So that's part of the reason why that happens. Okay, so
talking about Belt Federation, WBC is supposed to be the most prestige Belt Federation. Most of the fighters like to say that
WBC, that was then. This is now.
Exactly right. So now there's been people that was mad that Keith Thurman after Mario Barrios was the mandatory to Earl Spence. Now they have Mario Barrios mandated to fight Yordenis Ugas for the WBC interim. And I just said, whoever's Mario Barrios, I think it's Bob Santos. I got to applaud Bob Santos, because the way that he put Mario Barrios in position, let me know what was going on here, right? How is Mario Barrios in position still after losing to Jamontan Davis, losing to Keith Thurman. Yes, he beat Santiago in San Antonio. It was a good performance by Mario Barrios, but in position for a WBC interim.
All I know is that if Mario Barrios has 3 kids, he should name them Bob, Lewis, as in Louis the Cubist Jr., and after Al Heyman. So he should have a Bob, he should have a Lewis, and he should have an Al.
Damn, man. Damn, is the WBC in somebody's pocket more than ever?
I don't know. But all I know is I really like Mauricio. I was very good friends with the father, Jose. Great man. May he rest in peace. I cried when he passed away in January of 2014. And I really like Mauricio, but he does some fucked up shit.
Shit, man. Shout out to Mauricio Sudamon, shout out to Mauricio Sudamon, do a lot of great things outside of the sport of boxing. Autism kids have the great foundation and stuff like that. Not everybody going to do everything right. Not everybody going to do everything wrong in sport of boxing. Not everybody is perfect. But talking about overweight, what an embarrassment. Rick, and Zurdo Ramirez was an embarrassment this past weekend. How the hell you gonna come overweight 187 pounds, not a 0.2, 0.5? This was an embarrassment. He is aka Fat Bastard, aka I don't know if you know Salvador Gigante in Spanish, Salvador Gigante. I don't know if you watch the Spanish, but he is all of that. What an embarrassment. What do you think about that?
I don't look at it that way, sorry to say. So let me.
You're gonna leave me in the island, huh? You're gonna leave me in the island by myself with this critique, Rick? Huh?
No.
Wilson, come back.
I understand what you're saying. Okay, I get it, and but let me tell you the flip side of the whole thing. Yeah. First of all, his body's shut down. He normally loses 15 pounds in the last couple days before the fight. And he only lost 3 pounds. His whole body shut down. He couldn't lose any more weight, and he just can't make the weight safely. It wasn't that he was a fat pig. He can't make that weight anymore. You remember, this guy's a huge guy. He's 6'3", and even though he weighed, I know 3 people that were standing there looked at him, and nobody could tell me that he looked like he weighed over 175 pounds. Because when you have 12 pounds on a 6'3" guy, it doesn't look like he's overweight. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It's not like he's 5'8". Well, no, I understand from a professionalism standpoint, but first of all, it was a safety issue. He can't make the weight. His body shut down, and also this man had 45 professional fights before the other night, and he always came in at weight. This is the first time this ever happened. And his body just simply shut down. He couldn't lose the weight, and for him to even attempt to lose more weight than he did, he was jeopardizing his health.
You see how now we were talking about the WBC and the good and the bad. See, the WBC implements the 30-day weigh-in, right? The 14-day weigh-in, the 7-day weigh-in. Maybe they didn't have it. Of course, the WBC wasn't commissioned, but see, that's the good thing. You see how
wait. The WBC does a lot of great things, but the way some of these things Mauricio's been doing lately leaves me like, oh my God, like allowing a 147-pound fight to count as a mandatory at 154 with Earl Spence and Thurman. Putting Barros in with for the vacant title and with Ugas. I mean, these are travesties.
Yeah,
come on,
man.
Seriously.
But I see, I could understand 2 pounds, a pound, 12 pounds just to make me feel like you ain't even go to the gym.
I understand. He went to the gym. He trained every day. He got started a week late in the gym. He did. Okay. But the point was that his body couldn't lose the weight. He's going to fight at cruiserweight from now on, as far as I know. He's been advised to fight at cruiserweight by multiple people.
Hey, Rick. You know, I used to have a membership to Planet Fitness, and every Tuesday, the first Tuesday of every month, they used to have free pizzas. So I'm thinking that he probably went to the gym, but it wasn't a workout.
Yeah, yeah.
It
If he
wasn't
want,
a workout.
yeah, I see Rapstar wants to have no Nito Donaire on. Sure, he could be on.
Also,
Absolutely.
Rap Star Boxing Eyes asked Rick Punch, does he still want the heat with the
There's no heat.
4th Division World Champion Nonito Donaire, the future Hall of Famer tomorrow, so I can set it up and tell the champ Nonito?
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Ooh, smoky smoke. Want some smokety smoke? Huh? Why you think Nonito wants that smoke, and why you want that smoke with Nonito? Huh, Rick?
I don't. They seem to have a problem with me. The Donaires. I just told her and Rapstar, his wife, and Rapstar Rachel, how it was, and most people agree with me. She's not a fight manager. She manages a fighter that happens to be her husband. I said to her, "How many other fighters do you manage?" She says, "None." I said, "You're not a fight manager," which is why I manage my husband. I said, "You're not a fight manager. You are a manager of your husband. If he wasn't your husband, you wouldn't be the manager."
Yeah, man. I think y'all gotta handle that business and rap store boxing knowledge. You know, I think I've been in that road, but I think it's time for Rick and Onito to chop it up, man to man, mano y mano. You know,
No problem. I got a leg that weighs 118 pounds.
Oh, you trying to say that Onito is lightweight, sir? Huh?
No, well, he's a
That's
man
what
of
you're
no,
saying?
no, he's a bantamweight. He's a bantamweight. 17 pounds
Oh,
less. No, listen, I think he's a great fighter. He's been a great fighter. He's been a great asset to boxing. And if he wants to come on tomorrow night and Rapstar wants me on and him on at the same time, I'd welcome the opportunity.
Rick's like, who cares? A batting weight. Oh, wow. Nonito. But anyway, man, Nonito, y'all already know, man, one of the great ambassadors of the sport of boxing. As a matter of fact, when we're talking about clean boxing, he's the first one that did the 24/7, 360 all
Oh
year
yeah.
round
No,
blood.
listen. I said he's a great asset to boxing. He's a no-brainer Hall of Famer. I'm a elector at the Hall of Fame. I'm going to vote for him the first time he's on that ballot.
Mhm.
And I have no problem going on the show with him tomorrow night. It'll be fun. Rapstar will make it fun. Rapstar gets out under, he knows how to push the buttons and stuff like that, so it'll be just fine.
True. But I don't know. I hope another thing that I feel like it should help in boxing, and I'm not sure because you also have worked with fighters and have clients as well. When people want to know, because I see this, I read this a lot in a lot of tweets. When a fighter like Suldo Ramirez didn't show up, right? Does Gabe Rosado get compensated? Yes or no?
No, no, he
Damn,
does not. No, he
damn,
does not. Because they never officially weighed in.
damn. So I
The
feel.
fight was called off before they weighed in.
Oh, it was called off
So he
before the
doesn't
ceremony.
get paid. And another thing is, Golden Boy is in the process of right now arranging another fight for him relatively quickly.
Yeah, that's just due. But I understand that some fighters with the promotional company, they got exclusive deals, they get their camp fee. I just hope that Gabe Rosado didn't spend all that money out of pocket. I wish he had.
Well,
I wish they gave him a camp
that
fee.
that part I don't know about. But listen, these fighters only fight twice. He only probably fights twice a year, and he'll still get his 2 fights in this year. So in other words, he'll probably fight in like May or June, and then he'll fight again in the fall. So he'll still have his 2 fights. He's not going to lose any money.
Well, I hope so. You know what I'm saying? I hope so. But again, look, Golden Boy promotion, I feel that they're doing a hell of a job. I think I like the Virgil. I like that they won the bid with Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis. I think there's going to be a hell of a fight following Gervonta Tandavis and Ryan Garcia. What do you think about Gervonta Tandavis and Ryan Garcia? I believe this is one of the primary fights in the sport of boxing, probably the most lucrative fight in the sport of boxing, especially this side of the pond. And how does it feel that the undisputed Devin Haney in the lightweight division is not the biggest fight in the lightweight division.
Well,
Have you ever seen
you
anything
know,
like that?
Devin Haney's a really good fighter. Okay, there's no question about that. I think Shakur would beat him, but Devin Haney is a very good fighter. But that doesn't make him the most popular fighter. The most popular fighter amongst casual Americans that are on Instagram and all that kind of stuff is and amongst Hispanics is definitely Ryan Garcia, especially in the smaller weight classes. Besides, of course, Canelo, and then you have Tank Davis, Javante Tank Davis, who has his fans, which are a lot of diehard boxing fans, and the urban fan. So
Mhm.
you have a crossroads of cultures. You have Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard all over again is what you really have.
But
But on a little smaller basis because boxing's not as big in 2003 as it was in 1980. 2023 as it was in 1980.
that's understandable. But Devin Haney is just not a good fighter. He's the undisputed. He's supposed to be the top
No, no, I
dog.
said I didn't say that. I said he's a good fighter.
No,
He's a
no, no,
very
no,
good
no,
fighter.
no, no.
But he's not.
I'm not disagreeing
But
with what you're saying. I'm not
he's not the
disagreeing.
draw. He's not
Yeah.
the draw those other two guys are.
So have you seen any time in the sport of boxing where the respective top dog, I'm talking about undisputed in that respective division, is not the top fight? Is not the
Oh
big
yeah,
fight.
many times,
Which
many
one? I
times.
want because I couldn't think
Roy
of it, to be
Roy
honest.
when Roy Jones was the 175-pound champ, Darius Mikashevsky was drawing 18,000, 20,000 people in Germany. He was the big money out there. Darius Mikashevsky was a WBO champ, and that's when Roy had the other belts, and Roy would never cross the pond to go over there, and the other guy wouldn't come over here. So
Matter of fact, I said this one earlier today, but it's more of a catchway. It's not really 154. I was going to say that Amir Khan and Kell Brook was a more of a bigger fight, more lucrative fight than Brian Castano and Jamel Charlo.
Oh yeah, no question about it. But that you're talking about something different. You're talking about a country that's boxing crazy over there, rather than a fighter just being more popular than the undisputed champ or unified champion. So that actually happens more often than you think. So in other words, a Nui doesn't have any titles at 122, but he's much bigger than Stephen Fulton. That's why he's on his way to Japan,
Yeah,
right?
but is a three division world champion, undisputed.
No, I know.
In
I
all minds,
understand.
he. But
I
yeah,
understand.
I
You
do
know.
like the David Haney and Lomachenko fight. I think should be the biggest fight in the lightweight division. Should be the primary fight in the lightweight division. What do you see in that fight? Do you think that Devin Haney, they've been talking about his weight for a while. Even Mauricio Sudamon, a year or so, said that Devin Haney rehydrated 24 pounds. I think it was versus Gamboa, that he's really big. Do you think that's gonna play into effect versus Lomachenko? Who you got in that fight?
Well, I got the younger, stronger guy, and who's not. I think Lomachenko's a little shop worn now. He's not what he was, and I think it's perfect timing for Devin. Now, can Devin still make the weight and be under full strength? I don't know that. In other words, you never know that till they're in the ring and the rounds are ticking away, and all of a sudden his legs aren't under him anymore, and he's getting hit more, and you don't know. But if he's what he was in his last couple fights, he should be able to handle Lomachenko.
Okay, so you picking Devin Haney to beat Lomachenko.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's close. I think it's closer than ever. Of course, people's gonna go by how Lomachenko looked like versus Jermaine Ortiz. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think that Devin Haney does have the skills and talent to beat a Lomachenko, but I also believe that Lomachenko got the overall more skilled talent than Devin Haney. I feel like he could make some timely adjustments. We see that Lomachenko always make timely adjustments in towards the end of the fight to the championship round. So we know that Lomachenko know how to make adjustments if he's having some type of trouble trying to find you in the beginning of the fight. And I want to, and Devin Haney, I'm not sure that he ends his fight very, very well. He almost had Kambosa out of there, I believe, in the 10th round, but we'll see. I think there's more of an upside for Devin Haney. He is younger. He is still getting stronger. He is still getting wiser. I don't know how much of an upside there is for Lomachenko. So I do agree with you. I think this is a perfect time for Devin Haney and Loma.
Yep, no question.
Another fight. What the hell is going on with Usyk and Tyson Fury, huh? You know what? I don't even listen to, like, Fury is funny to me, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't know. It doesn't, it's just too much. Like, I don't know what to believe, whatever comes out his mouth. So I'll be like, when the fight happens, it does happen. I don't know. What do you feel about the Usyk and Tyson Fury?
It won't happen in April, on April 29th. I mean, everybody's come to that conclusion now. It'll happen in late May, early June. Probably early June, because they're not going to do 2 pay-per-views. Canelo will be pay-per-view in May. So they're not going to do 2 pay-per-views in the same month, probably early June. Whether it's in Saudi Arabia or Wembley Stadium in the UK and England, I don't know. But I like Fury. He's bigger, stronger. He's a little faster. He's got a better jab, and I call him. I think his ring IQ is the highest in the bigger weight classes. I think Usyk's got the second highest IQ, and the little guys, I think the number 1, number 2 IQ, and I got them tied, is Bam Rodriguez and Sonny Edwards. They've got the best ring IQs of the little guys.
Oh, Bam Rodriguez, one of my favorite fighters as well. Beating Cuadras, being Rumberside. I think he's one of the young fighters, 22 years old, 22 gonna be 23. One of the young fighters that's taken one of the biggest risks in the sport of boxing. I think the 2 guys that takes the biggest risk out of the young crop of fighters is Bam Rodriguez, Teofimo Lopez, that's supposed to be fighting Josh Taylor June 10th. But I'll go to that, but let's stay with the Tyson Fury and Usyk. I spoke to Sugar Hill several months, I think later last year, and he said, in all reality, Tyson Fury only needs 4 weeks to prepare himself. He doesn't need any more 6 weeks. He doesn't believe that heavyweights does need all that much long span of a training camp. So he said that,
and the
Tyson
reason
Fury
for
is
that
good
is
enough for 4 weeks.
right. That's because they don't need to make a particular weight. That's true, but you still have to set the fight up. You got to have air time available in the United States on the right day. You got to set up the marketing for it, and over in the UK also, around the world. So it's just too much to do in that short period of time. You've got to have at least 60 days to do a fight like that. At least 60 days. In the old days, before social media and before the electronics were as good as they are, it used to take at least 3 months. Not anymore.
Yeah, man. So, hey, they've been saying that there could be a chance, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury 4. What you think about that, Rick? Huh?
Society doesn't need that fight. He was knocked out the last 2 times. The last time he was face planted. Nobody needs to see that again.
Come on, but seriously. It was entertaining, though. It was entertaining for some people.
It doesn't matter. Tyson really won the first fight. They called it a draw, and then this guy got his ass handed to him the last 2 times. That's like pleading to get knocked out for a 3rd time. Come on.
There's a community. There's a community out there that needs to see it again.
No, that's nice.
I know there's a community out there that needs to see it again.
There's not enough people that buy that fight a 3rd time to make it commercially viable. Okay, there's not enough people on there to make it commercially viable a 3rd time. Well, what's so funny?
No, I'm just thinking about, maybe there's a community out there that want to see him get.
Yeah, they do. That community is going to steal it. They're going to hijack the pay-per-view feed. They're not going to pay for it. They'll end up with no buys.
No. I think they've been. I think there's certain people that, look. I love Wilder. but I just know that he got beaten by Tyson Fury, and there was no excuses for it. You know what I'm saying?
These guys that you're talking about, the LDBCers, the Haymanites, what do they call themselves? The Agenda
I don't know.
Crew,
You know him. I don't know. You know him.
the Wild Rats, and all these people. They tell you they support their fighters, but then they brag about they steal the pay-per-view when they fight.
Is that who Tim Smith was talking about from PBC? That they were
Yes.
going to steal the book
Yes.
for the Earl Spence
Yes.
fight?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Now, if a white man would have said it, it was racist. But since a black man said it was all right.
Oh man. Hey, thinking about white fighters, is Kalen Plant the last white hope?
He doesn't identify as white, does he?
Of course he is. I know I know his wife. What his wife? His wife is black, or I'm not sure if she's mixed or anything like that.
I don't.
If he's the last white hope.
No. What's Fury? Fury's a white guy. Usyk's a white guy. Come on.
You know, in Europe they don't play the white black stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I never heard Bruno the black Brit or Lennox Lewis the black Brit. You know, I don't think they play the color like in America.
No,
so
they don't.
I don't really.
No, because they're sportsmen over there. Our guys are street urchins, and they're sportsmen over there, and most of their guys are highly educated, and our guys aren't. So they play the race card over here. That's the problem. That's the difference.
So so Kalen Plant is the last American white hope.
Last American white hope Plant. I'd have to think about that.
I mean, Joe Smith.
Listen,
I don't know if Joe Smith going to win a fight.
Wait. If we rely on Plant to be the last white hope, we're really in trouble.
They no hope. They no hope for the whites. They no hope for the gringos. Huh?
No. You're making me laugh over here.
Ain't no hope for the gringos, man. Jeez, let me see if White Chocolate is bad. Let me see what he's doing. Or Melaninki. I forgot his name. Melaninki.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Joey Spencer. Ugh, nah.
Joey Spencer. Oh my God. Oh my
exactly.
God.
That's what I'm saying. So it got to be the last American white hope is Kalen Plant.
I hope not.
Oh man, what happened to all the Jew fighters though? Like remember back in the days, it was the Jew and the Irish. You know, shout out to Benny Leonard, the Ghetto Wizard 2.0, one of the best.
Barney Ross, Maxie Rosenblum. I mean, the list goes on and on. Lou Aber. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on. But the truth of the matter is, what happened was the Jewish people that came over from Europe became fighters over here. They became gangsters, racketeers, stuff like that. Okay, and then the fighters, the racketeers, the gangsters, they made their kids merchants. Okay, they became restaurateurs, dress shop owners.
Civilized.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but they made them merchants. Then the merchants educated their kids, and their kids became doctors, lawyers, accountants, and stuff like that. Okay, and you know, and you know, CEOs of companies and all that kind of stuff. So what happened was that Jewish people stopped fighting because they acquired money and wealth, and we know the people with money and wealth don't box.
They don't throw down.
So that's what happened.
So yeah, because boxing was a poor man's sport back in the days. You know, the Jewish, Irish that came. You know, there was the fighters, the Italians after that. You know, and then the black fighters black fighters always been there. The black fighters, the Latino fighters. So it's been a poor man's sport. So yeah, man, no more Jewish out there, man.
That's right.
But the Middle Eastern, where's the Middle Eastern too? Like, where is the Amir? What was it? Amir Khan.
Amir Khan. Yeah, well, that's a different situation. They box because it's a big sport. It's a noble. It's noble over there to be a boxer. It's, you know, it's being a sportsman and all that. Over here, you don't see many Arabic type Muslims fighting. Not too many, unless they came over from there to fight over here. But you don't see any American Arab Muslims fighting. You know what I'm saying?
I miss showsmen in the sport of boxing. I miss the Prince Nassim and the
Wait,
Roy
hold
Jones
on. You got somebody donating $4.99 here.
Jr.
Ask Rick what he thinks about the Josh Taylor versus Tio, who wins, and he is a fan of Tio Senior. No, I'm not a fan of Tio Senior.
How dare you? That's my guy. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He could be your guy. Matter of fact, if you want to take him to dinner, okay, make sure you don't invite me. So, anyways, it depends what Josh Taylor shows up. If he can be strong at the weight still, he wins. If he can't be strong at the weight and he fought like he did against Catterall, it's a pretty even fight. But if he was what he was against, if he turns back the clock a couple years, and he can make the weight safely, then he should handle Tiafimo, who has no balance at all. He looks like a dog taking a piss on a fire hydrant.
Well, I got Teofimo Lopez whipping the kill, whatever you want to call it, out of Josh Taylor. June 10th is in New York City. If you could come across the border, I don't know.
Okay, it's a kill. It's a kill. Okay, okay.
You know, in America, since we American,
a quilt is on a bed.
We're gonna call it a skirt. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, Teofimo Lopez gonna whip the skirt out of Josh Taylor. Does that sound better? Good looking out Real Boxing TV. But that's a good fight. I can't wait for that fight. But I was talking about when I said that Bam Rodriguez and Teofimo Lopez are the risk takers. Do you give Teofimo Lopez credit for taking a Josh Taylor? Listen to me, compare to his contemporaries, compare to Tank, Ryan, Haney.
Well, they're not contemporaries. They're not the same weight class anymore, so they're not contemporaries anymore.
But I'm saying that. Well, one of they probably most of them gonna move to 140. You know, Tank and Ryan and Devin.
Well, right now they're not. But yeah, I give anybody credit who steps to the plate. So, absolutely, I give them credit.
Okay.
So.
All right, there you go. The
only thing I give what's his name, this senior's father credit for is producing the kid. He fired well that night.
Hey, he brings us a potential first ballot Hall of Famer if he beats Josh Taylor.
I just said to you, I give him credit. The father, he shot good bullets that night. He made that kid.
You don't got no kids, Rick?
No.
Daniel, you ain't shooting none, right? You were shooting blanks?
No, I just wasn't. I just was very selective and decided that I'm not.
You were strapping up. You were strapping up, Ricky Rick.
Right. I don't need no girl calling me up 2 months later. Guess what? I'm pregnant with your baby. So.
Rick was shooting blanks out here, man. Come on, Rick. You gotta leave a legacy somewhere.
No, I married my wife
to a sperm bank.
No, my wife and I, we both married late in life, and it works for both of us.
Okay, all right. So ain't gonna be no little Rick Glazier around.
Thank God, no.
Thank God.
The world can't handle me, let alone a junior. What the fuck?
We don't need no Glazier Jr. up in here. Hell no. You already know. You don't need your legacy around. No. Only one Glazier. One and done, God. One and done.
That's right. Give all the haters a second chance to get pissed off,
Yeah. We don't need two of you tweeting. Say, hey, what do you think about your boy Steven Espinoza, man? What do you think about Showtime? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work with Paramount?
No, it won't. You're gonna see what's gonna happen going forward here. They're gonna do well with this fight with Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, but after that, what do they have? They don't have much. They don't have much.
They gotta. I don't know, man. They gotta make the. Even though I'm tired of talking about that fight, I really don't like talking about the fight. But they gotta make a Bud and Spence or a Spence and 147 Thurman. Even they need to make I think they need to make Jamal Charlo to meet Zandre. There's no other fight for both of these guys, in my opinion. Jamal Charlo Showtime. If Demetrius Andre is working with Showtime,
No,
Jamal Charlo,
nobody's gonna buy that fight.
I'm gonna buy. Hell
Nobody's
yeah,
gonna
that's
buy
one of the
that
biggest fight. Rick, Demetrius Andre and
fight.
Jamal Charlo. Come on, Ricky,
Yeah.
Rick. Come on, Ricky, You know that was on.
Nobody's buying that fight. There's no public demand for that fight.
It's a punch demand, punch drone boxing
No.
demand. Huh?
No,
Yes,
No.
Rick. Come on, help me out, Rick. Help me out.
no.
Yeah, I
No.
think. Look, I think right now in this community they'd be like they're frustrated with the resume, of course, of Charlo and Demetrius Andre. But if there was an announcement and you see them face to face, how much you want to bet people going to be intrigued? Mark my words, just mark my words. If it does happen, Rick, watch when they see that there's a press conference of both of them and they jabbing each other, you're going to see the people that's going to be intrigued about that fight. It's going to be like Tony Harrison and Jamal Charlo all over again, but a better promotion.
Yeah.
Better promotion. What do you feel about? I know how you feel about this one, but Canelo Alvarez versus John Ryder, aka Pelagato. What do you feel about that?
Well, it's a mandatory. He's the interim WBO champ. Is mandatory. Canelo's mandatories do. And I think, coming off 2 good wins in his last 2 fights, a lot of people thought he beat Callum Smith. I think it's a very good fight, as good as you can get under the circumstances. It's a very solid fight. He's going to go rounds. He gets stopped late in the fight. And yeah, that could go the distance, but he's left-handed. He's got a great chin. He's very strong, and he knows how to fight. I think it's a much better fight than people are giving it credit for.
You see people in the chat, they like that. They like the fight with Demetrius Andre and Charlo. Don't front, Rick. Come on, that's a good fight.
Okay, let's see how many people pay for it.
Shit, I hope they'll pay for it.
Okay.
But as much as, all right, I feel Canelo Alvarez is an all-time great. I feel that he's great enough to make the adjustments necessary to beat Bivol. I am probably now one of the few that believe that Canelo Alvarez, with the proper adjustments, he getting his knees.
He can't beat a guy. He can't beat a guy that's tall, rangy, with a good jab that got fast feet and gets away from him every time. And he was getting away from him every time last time, and it won't happen. He won't beat him.
So you don't think he's great enough to make the adjustment, or you think it's just a bad matchup?
It's a bad matchup style-wise. Canelo's got a better shot at Bivol. At Beterbiev, because he's right in front of you.
But you see the analysis that you just gave is the reason why people out there feel like that's always been his problem. The tall, slick fighter that worked the jab, that got great footwork.
Right. That's most people's Achilles heel. That's most people's. Right. Look what happened last night. Did you watch the DAZN fights?
I only saw the Jojo Diaz and I didn't see the rest of it. I didn't see the.
Well, there was a kid that was 7-0, a white kid from Florida, and it was a black kid from California. He's 7-0-1, and the white kid had an unbelievable jab, was tall with good footwork, and outpointed the guy. It was I had it 7-1. One had it 8-0. 8 rounds of 0, and one had it 6-2. Two of them had 6-2 in rounds. But the point I'm making to you is that it's styles. It's styles,
So it's not necessarily that it's not necessarily that Bivol is better than Canelo. It's just a bad style matchup.
It's a bad style matchup, yeah. Because most guys all the guys Bivol can beat, he would beat. Canelo would beat. So it's not a matter of that. It's a matter of it's a bad style matchup for him. That's all there is to it.
See, that's what we think about. That's what many think about Demetrius Andre and Charlo. I mean Demetrius Andre and Canelo. It's a bad matchup for Canelo. The same analogy that you gave is what
fight? What fight did you say?
Andre and Charlo. I mean Andre and Canelo. That's what he possesses. That's why
Andre's not. Demetrius Andrade is not strong enough. Number one. Number two is you don't punch hard enough, and he's not nearly as good as Bivol. You're talking about a different league of fighter.
I don't know. I don't think Bivol hurt Canelo though. He was actually saying, "Come on, come on." I don't think he heard
stunned him.
Canelo.
He stunned him a few times. That's why Canelo wasn't coming in anymore. He stopped coming in. He was hesitating about coming in because he did get hurt a few times. So
Now I wind the chat up when I talk about Andre and shit like that. You know, I know.
well, that's one of your favorite fighters.
Yeah, man. Ever since the amateurs, man. Ever since the amateurs.
Listen. Having Demetrius Andrade as a favorite fighter, you might as well collect used condoms for a hobby.
Shut the hell up. Yo, he's still undefeated. He's undefeated. He's one of my favorite fighters, but Canelo Alvarez is one of my favorite fighters. Jamel Charlo, Teofimo. I got a lot of favorite fighters, but I just feel like in boxing, there's opportunity. What you doing? What you doing? Rick, it sounds like you.
I'm making some iced tea.
Oh, I sounded like you was like, you know, that white lady. But
no. I'm running some water, from cold water to make some iced tea.
Like, damn, what you doing over there? You know? I know it's late. You know?
You sick bastard, you. You sick bastard, you.
Oh man. But I feel like in boxing is about opportunity, and that's why in the beginning of the live I said whoever's managing Mario Barrios is doing one hell of a job, because in boxing, for the most part, it's about opportunity, right? You know, if you're in great position, if you're in the position at the right place at the right time, it's almost like Ryder, right? There's people that be like, damn, Ryder getting that fight, but he's in position to get that fight. So if he's in position to get that fight, he gets picked for that fight. You know what I'm saying? So I think in boxing is about opportunity, who's managing you. I think managing is very important. Relationships is very important, not burning bridges and things of that nature. Do you feel like that is as important as the skillful fighter who's managing your career?
Absolutely. There's not even a question.
Give us an example of a fighter that was really, really good but mismanaged and threw away his career.
I mean, who's mismanaged? Actually, Tommy Morrison was mismanaged, in truth.
Okay.
He made a lot of money. He was in a lot of big fights, but he was mismanaged. Shouldn't have fought Michael Bent. He should have waited for the Lennox Lewis fight, and they wanted to take quote a tune-up, and he got tuned up and got knocked out in the first round. And he fought Ray Mercer. He shouldn't have fought Ray Mercer, a gold medal Olympian who could punch. He got knocked out colder than a cucumber. So I would say Tommy Morrison, even though we don't look at Tommy Morrison as a mismanaged fighter, I think he was mismanaged.
What about what the hell is happening with Adrian Broner? He was so happy that he got with BOK. He was so happy he left out Heyman, got with BOK Prime. We don't know what the hell. Now he's with your boy. Now he's with your boy Don King. You know, a has been promoted and a has been fighter. What you feel about that?
I feel it's a relationship made in hell, and at this point they deserve each other. Don should be promoting him, and he shouldn't have went to Don. As much as I love Don, that's just what the truth is.
So is a fair statement how I say it. A has been promoted and a has been fighter, but at least Don King had a legacy. He has a legacy though. He has a legendary legacy though, and he's 90 years old. Like, what more can he do?
No, he'll be 92 August 20th.
So 92. And look, he got all his faculties. He talked better than a lot of fighters. You know what I'm saying? I know he never got punched in the head, but I said he has been promoted, but he's done so much in the sport of boxing that even fans now look at, damn, at least Don King gave us the fight that we want to see, you know? Right. It's funny, Rick, it's funny that back in the days, the fans was like, oh my God, Don King is ripping these fighters, robbing these fighters, right? But now they say, man, I miss Don King. Like, you wanted Don King out when he was giving you all the fights, and now you want Don King back. The boxing world is crazy, man. They bipolar.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair assessment. What you just said. It is what it is. Listen, nobody wanted Larry Holmes as champ when he was gone. They didn't know what they had, And then Lennox Lewis, they didn't want him around. Then he's left, and they said, "Oh, when Lennox was around." So they do the same thing with the fighters. It's just the way it is.
Why?
People,
Like,
boxing fans always have something to complain about. Look at Twitter.
true.
Just the way it is. They always have something to complain about. You go on the other sports, like the NFL on Twitter, NFL people on Twitter, NFL fans, baseball fans, basketball fans, hockey fans. You don't see them complaining. It's because there's a league and they set the fights. And boxing gives you the opportunity to complain because we make our own fights. There's no league. So it gives you the opportunity to complain. It gives you an opening to complain. And I get it. I get some of the complaints. I understand them. But what they don't understand, some fights are just not commercially viable. You may want to see it, but it's not commercially viable. So that's just the way boxing is.
Let me say shout out to some of the people. Shout out to Danny Medina in the building. Danny Medina, all the members of Punch Drunk Boxing. Kevin Effect in the building. What's good? What's good? What's good? And everybody in the chat, keep on smashing the like button. We got over 100 people looking on. Rick Glazier, man.
100. That's all for me. I'm insulted.
Man, exactly. You got to tell them to smash the like button and tell them to send a super chat. Everybody, I know it's Sunday. And this is church right now. Give your offering. Come on, give your offering.
I got to tell you a funny story. I was at Coach Malachi Williams' show, okay, and a guy said it $1.99 for a super chat, and I said, "Sir," I go, "Sir," and I addressed him by his name. I go, "Sir, haven't you ever heard of inflation?" I said, $1.99. I said $10. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, another 10 come up from the same guy.
It looks like they don't like the show. That's what it looks like. They don't want to support the show. I don't know.
What
Rick.
can I say?
This is YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We provide some exclusives to provide some entertainment, and people just want to put their hands in the pocket and don't let it come out. You know what I'm saying? What time is it? Yep. We from New York. We the East Coast. We 11 o'clock. We could be. Hey, I could be doing my wife, and Rick could be doing his wife, and we here talking to y'all, and y'all can't even give us a piece of little ching. Huh? What's going on, Rick? It's like that. Damn, they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay for pay-per-view, and they don't want to send no super chat at the same time. God damn.
I know it's. I'm disgusted myself. You know.
It's all right. It's all right. And again, so there's a lot of great fights. Who you got though? Stanionis, Virgil Ortiz. Who you got winning that fight?
I'm actually going to be there. I'm a guest of Golden Boys out there. I'm doing business with them. I'm a guest of theirs. What do I think? I think Virgil Ortiz has a slight edge, but it's going to be a sensational fight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it clashes. Danny Medina, show some love and respect. Broke ass
inflation. $2. Come on. The only thing you get for $2 is one of those Slurpees at 7-Eleven. Come on, what or $1 Frosty at Wendy's?
Damn, I can't even.
Come on now.
Damn, I can't even buy a cheap hooker and Hunch Point with that. Come on, Dan. Jesus. Come on, y'all. Jeez, I can't even get a blowjob.
Oh my God. Listen, Punch. I heard a good joke the other day. You'll like. Ready? It's pretty cute. So. A husband and wife, they found condoms in their daughter's bedroom. Ooh. And the daughter goes out, and the daughter comes home, and it says she's 17 years old. She says, we found condoms in your bedroom. Are you sexually active? She says, no, I just lay there. Oh, you didn't like that one? Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. So anyways, make a long story short, Punch, what other questions you got? We hit an hour.
Yeah, I mean, so much in boxing, yo. What we spoke on on Showtime. We spoke on these potential fights. We spoke about these young fighters. We got a super chat from Brian Guzman, one of the members of Punch Drunk Boxing. Y'all got some ends on that petrol. That's what I'm talking about. You know, hey, I put 93 on the car. I put 93. No rags.
How much did he leave? $5?
Hey, that's gonna give me some rice, beans, without the chicken.
Okay.
Mom and pop store.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Brian.
And a bodega. Yep, I get it.
what you think? All right, yeah. Let's talk about this. You know, every time you may put something out, I may put something out. Somebody else that knows some information may put something out, and they hit you with the, well, show us your source. Show us your source. You know what I'm saying? What?
If I did that, I'd be out of business.
Exactly. Why do that's like me? That's like me if I was if I had a brick and you'd be like, yo, who's your connect? Who's your connect?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Why people need to, if you're insider and you know more, what's going on.
Because anybody would say that's a jerk off, number one. And number two is some of them don't realize, that I'm in boxing for a livelihood for 32 years. They just think I'm another guy on Twitter. They don't realize that I'm talking with all the power brokers on a daily basis. Does that make sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense. I know that. Leonardo Rodriguez says $20. Good looking out with a super chat. He said for Rick shooting down the boo-boo fight. Damn, thank you, Leonardo. Damn. Damn, I needed. Damn, the channel is getting donations for them to shoot down a boo-boo fight. Shit. Damn, boo, you gotta help me out, boo, out here, man. They not liking you.
Yep.
But good looking out, Leonardo Rodriguez, man, with that super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Also appreciate Rick Glazier for joining me. But yeah, I was like I may know certain things on the inside, right? And I tell the people, oh, Punch, you reported this. No, I'm reporting what they told me. It's not like why you shooting the messenger. I'm just reporting what I got from an insider that's in that. Now the question is, are they lying to me? Or are they telling me the truth? Then that's something else.
No, they're not lying. They're giving you company orders. Is what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Not really company orders, because the same. Look, Rick. The same source told me that the Showtime and Paramount is not going to work, and that's coming from that side. You feel me?
I know it's not going to work.
Yeah, so even if they may tell me, they say the source may tell me a number and it doesn't equal to what's probably reported by you or by Dan Raphael, but then the same one is not like if you know who this guy is, you know what I'm saying? He's not like he's not like a person that be like that'll tell me anything to up the.
No, I listen. I get it. But let me just explain something to you about the Tank Davis number. Mm-hmm. I came out with that number 11 days after the fight. And after I put out my 61,000 number, those guys came out with a number. Those guys came out with their 200 to 400,000 numbers.
350,000.
350 and 200. Then Steven Espinoza knew I had the number. Okay, at 61, so he goes and backtracks and said, "Well, it didn't do 200." Well, of course, it didn't do 200. It did. Okay, it didn't do anywhere near 200. Of course, he said that. They just, you know what? If I wouldn't have put out a number, they wouldn't have said anything. They just did it. They just did it in my defense.
Man,
that's all they did.
You was talking about that the whole week. Hey, but you know what? You know what, Rick? It actually needed that because around that time there was no boxing going on. Yep. It actually needed that, and this is what we got to know: the power of the power of this community, right? You gain the respect for and you could put something out there, and you're gonna have people that's going to trust what you bring in now, believe you, and that goes for even a lot of channels out there, a lot of successful channels out there. More voices like your voice. Sometimes my voice in terms of what subject I'm talking about, other boxing content creators that got a good traffic, got great supporters, their voice may be more valuable than the boxers themselves. You see that in this community?
Sometimes it happens that way, but let me just tell you, my numbers have been accurate since July of 2004, Floyd Mayweather versus Arturo Gatti, and you know, they want everybody wants us to second guess me because they're listening to Fat Man Raphael and they're listening to Stephen Espinoza. The next time Stephen Espinoza tells the truth, it'll be an historic moment in American history.
Oh, Steven. I got to see Steven. I actually spoke for him for the first time when I did the
Fucker's the size of a jockey, for Christ's sake.
Meet the credentials.
He loses his job at Showtime and go out to the racetrack and be one of those practice jockeys.
Oh my God, you going in on Steven Espinoza, aka the Weasel?
The Weasel.
Rafael Alvarez, $1.99. Good looking out with a super chat. Tell D Medina shut up, harassing peace for $4.
Hey.
Oh man, but look, as much as there's criticism, and I think a lot of boxing fans do criticize Showtime PBC, they're coming out with they're coming out with good.
But they have to now. They realize they can't put on shit pay-per-views. They don't do any numbers. They got to. They don't have any choice. You're congratulating for what they were supposed to be doing all along, and they were feeding their shit. Stop congratulating. It's like congratulating somebody for doing their job.
True. Do you think that the network had to take over, like almost like remember the Zone, right? There's certain fights that they void, like no, you can't. Canelo can't fight this person, or this person can't fight this person. It has to be.
Well, at least Canelo was selling.
At
least Canelo was selling. Okay, and these guys aren't selling. They're not. All their pay-per-views have been a flop. Another $2. The guy come up with $2 twice.
But Danny Medina, he's a member, so you know what I'm saying. He's a constant supporter. Join Drunk Nation. Palomazos, show some support. Good looking out, Danny Medina. Tell him, Danny. But look, hey, sometimes you gotta force people to do things, and at least they doing it. And this first half of the year is gonna be good. What do you know more about the situation with Pro Bellum? There's no more Pro Bellum. And we heard that Richard Schaefer is with somebody else now. He's not even with Disrupt. He's not with Disrupt. Right. But I only read one article. Do you know anything more about this company
Richard Schaefer is going to run a company with multiple divisions. He's going to be president of the company, and they're going to start a boxing division. They got wrestling, they got a whole bunch of different divisions. And he's Impact Wrestling is one. They got Fight Night. I believe it's called FightNight.com, and they got the TV station Access, AXS, and he's going to be running everything. He's going to be president of the whole thing, and he's going to start a boxing division. And we've talked, Richard and I, and he's going to use my services like they did with Pro Bellum. Like many companies around the world, I presently have 47 clients, so I have a lot of very satisfied clients. So in the meantime, Dan Raphael and Stephen Espinoza says I'm not even really in boxing. So that's how much they're trying to defame me, these dumb bastards. So what can I say, Punch?
But now that remember, it seems like information given to me, they wasn't willing to work with Richard or Pro Bellum fighters until they find a new home. Not that they have found a new home, like Regis Progress found a new home, and all these guys, Jason Maloney probably found a new home. Now,
Jason Maloney wasn't with them. Jason Maloney's been with Top Rank for years.
Yeah. I'm sorry, not Jason. I mean, no need to Donaire. I'm sorry, not Jason Malone. Yeah. I mean, no need to Donaire. Now that their management or their partners found a new home, now is it easy to make Nonito and Jason? Is it easy to make a TO and a Regis?
No, won't happen because he's fighting for the WBO belt, and if he wins, he'll fight another top-ranked fighter because that's how they conduct their business. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to make Donaire fat unless they can give him Donaire, sign up Donaire too, or pay Donaire real short money. That's how that works.
Okay. Damn, I was gonna say I seen something. I was gonna ask.
Hey, Punch, which borough do you work in? Do you live in? New York.
Manhattan, born and raised in
Oh,
Manhattan.
you live in Manhattan?
Yeah.
I'm flying in New York Wednesday morning, and I'm flying back Wednesday night. I got a meeting in New York on Wednesday in Queens.
Queens. I like the restaurants in Queens. Mom and pop restaurants though. One of my favorite restaurants is a little shop. Little shop is a Bosnian restaurant. I like to eat my pepper.
Yeah. I'm going to Don Pepe. You know Don Pepe?
Don Pepe. I think I heard of Don Pepe.
Yeah, Don Pepe. It's Italian. Peppe. Don Pepe.
I like that.
Yep.
I like Italian food.
It's in Ozone Park. Ozone Park.
Yeah, I haven't been to Ozone Park in a long time. Let me see. They got the cabinet spaghetti. Is it spaghetti carbonara? I like that.
They got everything there. They got everything there. The problem with spaghetti carbonara is high in cholesterol.
I know. What's the problem? You can't eat it. You can't eat it all the time.
No.
Yeah,
no. Well, listen, I gotta get going. I gotta hit the road here. I got my business is opening up right now overseas, so I gotta call companies I do business with in the Middle East and Australia and all those kind of places. So my business is opening up right now for the week.
Let's go, Rick Glazier. Give your information just in case if people there's new people.
Yeah, my Twitter is Rick. Excuse me, at Real Rick Glazier 1. That's GLASER at Real Rick Glazier 1. There's a lot of fake Rick Glazier accounts out there. This has 6,000 something followers, 6,000 something. It came out in January of 2020. So don't get confused with all the phony accounts with just a few followers. And I answer all boxing questions and without paying a super chat fee.
All right, brother. All right. So take care. Have a great night. Tell the wife
You
I
too.
said
Thanks
hello.
for having me. Thank you. Anytime you just get a hold of me, I love to come on your show. You've been a great host. You ask great questions, and everybody is donating to the super chat. You're donating to the right man in Punch Drunk Boxing. I'll talk to you. Thank you very much for having me. Bye now.
Thank you, brother. All right. Rick Glazier, one of the most controversial men in the sport of boxing. Been in boxing for over 2 decades. More, I'm sorry, almost over 3 decades. Hall of Fame in New York City for Boxing Hall of Fame. Got to give him credit. He does what he does, and he's still succeeding in the sport of boxing as an insider, matchmaking. What was a matchmaking, but facilitating a lot of fights in the sport of boxing. Shout out to Rick and everybody in the chat, man. Let me see. But yeah, man. I did it live earlier. We was chopping it up. Good looking out for the people that send the super chat. Smash the like button. Let me see how many like buttons we got, man. Let me see how many like buttons we got. We got 70 likes. 70 likes. Sandy Lane, Danny with a cuck. El Punchy, es mi amigo. What's good, Leonardo, man? Good looking out. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. But look, boxing is lit. Is lit, mother effing lit. Hold on. Wait. I might have a guest, a surprise. Hold on. Give me just 1 sec. I told everybody I didn't like what he said. What happened to the 2 interview punch? Hey, yo, pound for pound king. Look, man, my brother Michel, I don't know, I think he was watching the Puerto Rico versus Dominican baseball game. He was supposed to do an interview. I don't know, man. Sometimes this is some pound for pound. This is why sometimes I don't like putting the the banner, the thumbnail, because I'm saying that 50% of the time that I try to lock down these interviews with these fighters, sometimes they in training, they forget. I don't know. So it is what it is, man. They're gonna show up, guys. They're gonna show up, man. And hopefully they show love. Shout out to Michelle Rivera and shout out to Keyshawn Davis preparing for his fight. You go live early every day. Nah, go live late. Hold on. We got Mexico eliminated Puerto Rico from baseball classic. Oh, they did? I didn't even see it, man. I didn't even see it. USA punch or we smashed on the Island Boys. Yeah, I didn't even see it. I know somebody hit a home run, and I watching the highlight, and then I was just chilling with the kids and stuff like that. But I'm gonna catch the highlight. You know, I miss being a baseball fan. You know, after that the steroids era, and it just took a hit. It took a hit. You know what I'm saying? I was a major Cleveland Indian fan. Kenny Lofton was my favorite player. Kenny Lofton, Manny Ramirez, Albert Bell, Roberto Alomar, Sandy Alomar. That was my era right there. That was my era. I was a baseball fiend. If I was still a baseball fiend, man, I'd be having a baseball channel. Yeah, baseball is my first love too, Leonardo, man. Baseball is my first love, man. I still smell the grass, you know what I'm saying? I still the dirt, you know what I'm saying? You know, when they water the field, I could still smell it. I could still smell the air, you know, being in the outfield, fighting the bees, you know what I'm saying? Being in the outfield, fighting the bees in St. Mary's Park, you know? Yeah, man. I love baseball. I loved it. Mine too, George Brett, Ken Griffey Jr. Yeah, man, that was the Cleveland Indians was my love, man. Y'all thought I was hyped with boxing when it came to baseball? Oh man. Whee! And the good thing about baseball, that is always something to real talk about because it's a game every day. It's a game every day, right? It's like you know that you have a schedule. Is you work, you come back home, and the baseball game. You go back outside and stuff. You talk about, and then the playoff come, and it was. I don't got that love no more. And you know what? It's turned like that with boxing. Like I love boxing, but that's why boxing needs to sustain itself. And this is why I'm so happy about this 3 months right here. Because we got more, we got David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. Again, we got Shakur Stevenson back in the ring. We got Javonte Tan Davis, Ryan Garcia. Then we got Virgil Ortiz, Stanionis. And then we got Canelo Alvarez, John Ryder. And then we got Naoya Inoue versus Stephen Fulton. And then we got Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. And then we got Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. In the middle of that, we got Bam Rodriguez. In the middle of that, we got Anthony Joshua. This is the best time for boxing right now. I like it. I love it. It's going to make me love the sport of boxing, but there's a lot of things in the sport of boxing that I understand why it makes people fall in love out of boxing. You know, I know a lot of we used to throw a boxing party, bro. Boxing parties. I don't remember the last time I've been to a boxing party. And I remember the last time when even the casuals, the people that I know from the hood, they used to, at least there was the big fights, and we'll stop and we'll close down the little street, do barbecues, food, and everything for a big fight. There's no more fight parties. Chipper Jones, Braves. I hate the Braves. Y'all beat us in the World Series, man. I hate the damn Braves. I hate the Marlins, man. I used to hate the Yankees, but around that time, man, we had the Yankees number 2. You know, they won that 96. Yeah, they won that 90. Yeah. And then our farm was actually giving all our farm players, like Cleveland Indians produce a lot of great farm players, and we trade them and give it to the Yankees. I used to hate that shit. And then when our free agent, we don't pay them. We didn't pay Jim. We didn't pay Manny. We just let these guys go. We give them. We give up our farm system. We build them. We throw them away. Shout out to Astros, man. Craig Biggio. You know what I'm saying? Jeff, what is it? Jeff Bagwell. Yeah. I was a baseball fan back then, man. That was my sport back then. You ever in Chi, you the fleet owner can come kick it with Chicago police. Hey, I've been in Chicago, man. And I've been to Wrigley Fields, y'all. But a little bit, if you go walk a little bit to the left in Wrigley Fields is another place you don't want to be. You know, I like Wrigley Fields. I just don't like what's outside of Wrigley Fields. If you Chicago motherfuckers know what I'm talking about. Shit. I'm like, hey, yo, let's stop. Let's stop. Stop before Wrigley Field so we could just walk out there. You feel me? And we walking and shit like that. And I'm looking at the fuck. What the fuck is that? We googling this shit like that. Say, where we at right now? Wrigleyville, something like that, right? No. Boys Town. What the fuck? Get me out of here! God damn it! Where's the Uber? Get me out of here! Anybody know shit? Everybody know Wrigley Fields. Yeah, right around the area, little bar there is all good. You walk a little, if you walk like, a quarter of a mile, the other way, you're gonna find certain thing. You ain't gonna see baseball, you're gonna see a bunch of balls. Gonna see a bunch of balls. I'm like, what the hell is this? Lord. And you know what I was thinking? I said this a long time ago. I was like, no wonder the Chicago Cubs ain't win for a long time. How can you? No wonder the Chicago Cubs ain't win for a long time. All these people from Boys Town was going to the game saying, strike. Oh my God, throw that hard ball real fast. Hit a home run for me, Poppy. Henry, hit that hard ball harder than you never hit a hard ball before. Can you imagine in Wrigley Fields, what I'm saying, all them Boys Town, Boys Town fans? It'd be like, go ahead. Umpire, he's pitching too hard. That is too hard. Pitch is soft. There's already a hard ball. When I went to Wrigley Field for the first time to see a Chicago Cubs, I said, no wonder y'all haven't won. Who the fuck could concentrate in this place like this? Take me to see the White Sox, damn it. Take me to see the White Sox. I'm out of here. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Crazy. But yeah, man. I don't want to go to Chicago Cub game no more. I don't want to go no more. Oh, man. But look. It would be fun, man, if I do a show and talk about other sports, like a day that we talk about just current events of other sport, or just what's happening in baseball, what happened in football, what happened in basketball. You know what I'm saying? I am the owner. Fuck the police, the safer and Wrigley. So Wrigley. Oh man, Wrigley Fields, man. Boys Town. Yo, there was a club. It was that. What the fuck was the name on it? Oh man, I forgot that me and my boy was like, yo, you saw all your shit. Yo, look at the name of the club. Where are we? But anyway, yo, ladies and gentlemen, man, thank you for showing love today. Rapstar Boxing Knowledge is live right now. Everybody go to Rapstar Boxing Knowledge. Probably go out there, man. Get on the panel. Get that smoke over there with Rapstar, the voice of the UK, London. Everybody, man, love you. God bless. Tomorrow we back at it, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We have a guest. Let me see if he's ready to. Nah, he ain't ready to go tonight. But I'm gonna have a guest. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going every night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's gonna be that's it. I have a set time. I'm trying to be as professional as I can be. All right. Y'all already know, man. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.